What's up, everyone, and welcome to Jason Old Art Behind the Art. Today we're looking at an abstract painting I did that I titled Episodio, which is just episode in Spanish. But I've actually already sold the original, so I'm gonna put the image right here so you guys can check it out while I tell you about it. And so there's a lot of questions about this piece, and so I wanted to make sure to do a behind the art about it so that I could, help you guys understand what I was thinking about while I was painting it. And so the inspiration for sort of the overall framework of it, the suit and the TV head, actually came from the song Bullet in the Head by Rage Against the Machine. And in that song, they sing about the sort of TV propaganda and sort of locking your mind into it. And so I wanted to play around with that, but at the same time, make it my own. And so that was why, as you can see, we have, the suit, and then you have, of course, the TV. And I wanted to go with the retro TV, just because I thought it would be fun. And you can see here, I'm actually super stoked on how the knobs turned out. Like, I almost feel like I could turn the dial on that thing. But anyways, I thought that would be a lot more fun than a flat screen TV, right? And so it also gives you a bit of a retro feel, and I thought that would be somewhat fun, right? Maybe nostalgic in a way. And so, but yeah, so and so as I did the suit and then the TV itself, I realized there was tons of space inside that TV, right? And so I wanted to create a composition inside the TV that sort of suggested the alluring or seductive nature of sensationalized news and TV propaganda. And so that sort of took me on a course to where I was like, I think some lips right there would be good. And so I wanted to do the seductive lips, again, to create this alluring sort of attraction that locks you into this TV. And so that was where the lips come from. But I also wanted to place it on the TV in a way that was anatomically correct, or convincing at least, even though they're oversized lips. But I wanted to place it, as you can see, I placed it where a mouth could possibly go. But like I said, I know that they're oversized, but nevertheless, considering that the TV represented a head of sorts, I wanted to, be somewhat accurate on that anatomically. And then, of course, as you can see, the three flowers, I wanted to do something that was lively and attractive, because again, in much of the same way, the sensationalization of the news sort of it's attractive and alluring and in a way, seductive, if you will. I wanted to play around with that to grab your attention, right? And so the three flowers are intended to be super bright and in a way, sort of keep you focused on the TV. And so, but at the same time, as you can see, I only did three. I thought the fourth was just gonna be, I don't know, it would have been too cliche or too predictable. And so I was like, okay, what can we do to balance the composition while at the same time not using another one of these flowers, right? Because a different flower would have made it weird, and the same flower would have been, I think, a little bit overly predictable. And so that's where the wine bottle comes in. And so that also, as you can see, that plays into the sort of seduction as well of what's going on inside the TV. But I wanted to be a little bit more abstract than just, having wine or some liquid pouring out of the bottle. And so that's where the vines come in. And so the vines, are obviously allowing me to tie in this bottle and the contents of the bottle, but in a way that represents, something being poured out. And then I ran it through those lips, right? Indicating that, the drinking of contents, but at the same time, it was vines that allowed me to sort of intertwine in a much more cohesive way the flowers. And so for me, looking at it that way brought together all of the images on the painting, or at least inside the TV, in a very cohesive way that sort of, made the what was going on screen very cohesive and sort of intentional and while at the same time attractive and seductive and alluring. And so that was where I went with with what was going on here on the TV. And so when I finished with that, I realized that I had this whole scene going on in the TV, but the suit was still very much plain. And of course, I never intended the suit to draw attention away from the TV. It was just, instead of just having a TV, right? It's, I went with the vibe of the TV head. And so, but at the same time, I wanted to draw in much of the same way I drew together what was going on inside the TV. I wanted to overall draw things together and make it, a very cohesive composition, both inside the TV as well as outside the TV. And so that's where the idea you can see of the melting lips, right? And you can, I left that open for interpretation. If you think they're melting or you think it's lipstick, that's completely up to you. I left that open for interpretation. And so, but nevertheless, to sort of draw together what's going on inside the TV with what's going on sort of outside with the suit, that's why I put the stain on the collar, right? And that sort of allowed what was on the TV to sort of jump out in a sense and sort of link together cohesively with what's outside the TV. So that was my train of thought on that. And then as far as the background, I really liked the green color. It was a really nice color, like to sort of sit behind everything. But at the same time, I also wanted to include, of course, my orange stripe, which I feel like I'm putting it on everything at this point. But it made it so it wasn't just this really monotonous or boring backdrop, but rather sort of broke it up. It kind of broke up the monotony, but at the same time doesn't overpower the real focus of the painting, which is what's going on the TV. And so, but at the same time, it allowed me to, break up things in the background in a way that made it just didn't look like a suit and a TV sitting on a green backdrop. And so that was sort of my thoughts behind that, just to give it a little bit of its own little identity in the background. And so that was, again, like I said, that was sort of my train of thought on that. But I really like this painting a lot. I like all the ones I do, but this one was really fun and I really enjoyed, and like I would say probably one of my favorite parts about it are the knobs. I really, really liked how the knobs turned out. And as I was painting everything, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, how am I going to make these knobs really work? And I think that they really turned out well. And so, but like I said, the original is already sold, but if you'd like a print or you'd like some accessories that have the artwork on it, you can check it out at jasonoldart.com, and you'll find, hopefully you'll find what you're looking for there. But again, this is Episodio, and thanks for watching Behind the Art.